Michael Jackson, the king of pop, a man adored by billions, yet possibly one of the loneliest souls to ever moonwalk across a stage. His life began in the spotlight before he could even form full sentences. From the time he was 5 years old, he was more than a child. He was a product, pushed relentlessly by his father, Joe Jackson. Michael's childhood was filled with rehearsals, beatings, and a pressure no kid should ever have to bear. While other kids were riding bikes and playing tag, Michael was mastering choreography, laying vocals in studios, and preparing to perform in front of screaming audiences. The dream? He was a child star. The nightmare? He was never allowed to just be a child. As he grew older, the dream only expanded. His album, Thriller, shattered every music record imaginable. He was the biggest star on earth. From the streets of Tokyo to the back roads of Mississippi, every glove he wore, every dance move he invented, every note he sang was mimicked across the world. He had Neverland, his own amusement park. He had money, fame, awards, and influence that transcended borders. But behind the scenes, the nightmare deepened. Michael's face changed over the years, literally. His skin tone, his nose, his cheekbones all transformed. While the public speculated, the truth might have been darker. Michael suffered from vitiligo and lupus, conditions that caused his skin to lose pigment. But more than that, he wrestled with his identity, his appearance, and the trauma of being judged since childhood. The surgeries, the masks, the increasingly reclusive behavior, signs of a man who wasn't just protecting his image but perhaps hiding his pain. He gave millions to charity, visited orphanages, quietly paid for fans' surgeries and hospital bills. He loved children because, in his words, they were pure, untainted. He longed for the innocence he never got to keep, but that very longing became ammunition. Accusations followed him. Whether they were true or not, they permanently stained his name. The media tore him apart. Paparazzi stalked him like prey. His every move twisted into headlines that sold papers. Never mind the truth. Michael's smile on camera was legendary, but off camera, those closest to him said he cried often. He lived in fear of betrayal, fear of manipulation, fear of losing custody of his own children. There were whispers of powerful people in the industry who allegedly used him, controlled him, and blackmailed him. Yet Michael, always the performer, kept dancing, kept singing, kept smiling. Even when he was quietly screaming for help, he was medicated to cope, isolated to stay safe, and in the end, surrounded by people who were supposed to protect him. He died from an overdose of drugs allegedly given by his own doctor. The circumstances around his death, still murky, still suspicious. A man preparing for a comeback, suddenly gone, just like that. Michael Jackson lived in a fantasy world that millions envied. But the fantasy came with chains. In a mansion, but longed for privacy. He had crowds, but craved intimacy. He gave the world his voice, his soul, his body, but never found a place to rest his spirit. A dream, a nightmare, both true at the same time. That was Michael Jackson.